Hey guys, Prangell Gaming here, and today I'm going to be giving you a Millwall analysis video. Now today's Millwall analysis video is Millwall versus Oxford. Now this game was on Sky Sports, you may have seen it, it doesn't really matter if you did or didn't. But again, unfortunately, the curse of playing League 2 teams strikes again for Millwall. We lost again to another League 2 team. Now let's get more in depth into what happened in the game. Now Oxford's first goal was absolutely ridiculous. I don't know how it went in the back of the net. Probably nor did the defence, but what happened was the ball was thrown on and then it was given to Kemar Roofe. Now he got in between Wallace and Cummins and put a cross in. Now, notice how I said cross. Yes, he crossed the ball into the area and somehow that cross ends up beating our goalkeeper David Ford and going in the back of the net. Now that looked like a spectacular goal if you're an Oxford fan, and it was quite embarrassing to see when it was on telly and everyone could see how Ford just completely misjudged that ball completely, and it meant that the League 2 side did have the lead at the moment. Now Millwall did have a chance to get back into the game as Ferguson crossed the ball in from a free kick, and this ball was then headed as far as almost into Millwall's half, but it just didn't as it landed at Cummins' feet. Now Cummins then smashed the ball up the pitch and it went straight back to Ferguson, who knocked the ball over the top for Morrison to then let the ball bounce over his head unintentionally, may I add. But then the ball went to Jimmy Abdu. Now, Jimmy Abdu then stormed up into the box even further and then put the cross in, where everyone completely missed the ball, even the Oxford defenders. But it then meant that Ferguson could get the ball and he hooked it back into the box. And unfortunately, Steve Morrison's header was straight at Prangell, the goalkeeper from Oxford. And even when it was a free header, which is really, really upsetting and very concerning if you're a Millwall fan. Of course, Oxford did go on to score again, and you wouldn't be surprised to hear the player that scored. Of course, it was Kemar Roofe. And as I said, you probably wouldn't be surprised to hear that at all, because he scored and he dominates football at the moment. He's been in so many headlines at the moment. He was named Team of the Week for many countries' newspapers, and wow, he has been fantastic. And this goal, well, it was a strike of luck for Oxford, but the ball was hit against the crossbar from Lundstrom, and it was an absolute rocket of a strike. And David Ford, he did get a hand to it just about, but he put it onto the crossbar. If he got it over the crossbar, maybe this goal wouldn't have been anywhere close to happening. But it didn't. It hit the crossbar, it then bounced back, and then it was a race between Cummins and Roofe, and, well, Roofe completely beat Cummins to the ball with his pace. He's a fantastic, very quick player. And, well, it was almost impossible for Cummins to keep up with him. And then Roofe headed the ball into the back of the net to make it 2-0 Oxford. Now, into the second half, Oxford came close again to extending their lead as they played a quick throw to Kemar Roofe, who played the ball back, and it was played into the area, but Hoban just missed the goal. He was inches away from making it 3-0, and that would have completed a terrible day to be a Millwall fan. Now, Millwall did threaten the Oxford defence in the second half as Gregory controlled the ball down very well. He then passed it to Jed Wallace, who he'll flick the ball back, and then Gregory waited to find Wallace in a bit of space, then passed it back, and then Wallace had a chance, but his chip shot was unfortunately against the crossbar. He was so close to scoring there, and Jed Wallace has been a fantastic impact player who's been on loan from Wolves. He was brilliant. I much prefer him than Saville, and I think that Wallace could be a very good player if he maintains his form. And if we can extend his loan to the end of the season, maybe it isn't the end of the world. He's pretty good, very quick, something that Millwall have always lacked down that wing. And he's always dedicated to attacking and defending, which is sometimes what we could lack in Fred. Now, unfortunately, the game did end like this, and Oxford do have to go into the second leg with a 2-0 aggregate advantage. And I've got to say, they were fantastic in this game, and they did deserve to win it. On another day, maybe we would have done better. But now, who were the key players in this game? Well, you may not agree with me about this for Millwall, but I'd go with Joe Martin. Now, as I said, you can disagree with this, but he did a lot going forward, and he dealt with a lot of the issues that were coming towards him in the defence. Unlike Cummins, who had pretty much a very shaky night, of course, because he had to defend against Kemar Roofe. Now, for Oxford, if it wasn't blindingly obvious already, it would be Kemar Roofe. He is fantastic. He is such a brilliant Oxford player, and he is the cog in Oxford's well-oiled machine. He created so many chances, and he also grabbed them 2 goals that I did mention. And he definitely looks like someone that you should look out for in the future. He looks like he could be a very, very good talent. Now, Millwall's next game, obviously it's Millwall versus Port Vale. Now, I have done that analysis video, and that will be going up later on today after this video, probably around about 6 o'clock, so stay tuned for that as well. So anyway guys, I hope you have enjoyed this analysis video. Unfortunately, Millwall couldn't get the result against Oxford in the John Stones Paint Trophy, but sometimes that happens. One day we might be able to beat a team in League 2. But until then, I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. Like, comment, subscribe, and of course, stay tuned for more Millwall analysis videos. Goodbye.